Hi guys, it's me, your one and only Reddit girl. Today I'm most happy to give you some entitled parents for your listening pleasure, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the stories. Context. So I'm currently 15 years old and chubby. My weight distribution makes me look relatively curvy, and it can get annoying. Very annoying. I also happen to be very tall, so a lot of clothes that fit me width-wise won't fit me height-wise, which is also annoying. I've always been extremely self-conscious due to bullying for being fat, and I was trying to give myself some confidence and wore a short shirt. It wasn't exactly a crop top, I was just too tall for that shirt, but my friends told me it looked cute on me, and some high-waisted skinny jeans to cover what the shirt didn't. I also had a flannel shirt around my waist in case I got cold, since it was early spring. Now on to the story! So me and my friends were at the movie theater waiting to see Happy Death Day 2, which happened to be next to the gate for a kids movie. I forgot which one. Both of my friends are thinner than I am and were wearing clothes a bit more revealing than what I was wearing. Nothing too bad, just some short shorts and a sleeveless top. They looked really cute. And we're sitting on the bench outside of the gate just chatting. Suddenly, entitled mother shows up with innocent kid in tow. They sat down on a bench next to us, and entitled mother suddenly noticed what, not all of us, but specifically what I was wearing. Excuse me, could you please cover up a bit? My son here is very young, and I don't want to expose him to such indecency. I raised my eyebrows and blinked for a second. I wasn't sure I had heard her correctly. I'm sorry, what? Honestly, I'm surprised your parents let you go out like this. You, at how much skin you are showing, may as well streak across the theater. Cover up. I don't want my son to be exposed at such a young age. He might think it's okay for girls to dress like that. I blinked for a second and blushed. I felt humiliated, as I already have issues with my body, and I tried to put on my flannel top, but my friend stopped me. What right do you have to say that to my friend? You do realize we're all dressed with the same amount of skin showing, right? But you girls aren't blatantly exposing your breasts to the world. The entitled mother gestures to how my neckline went beneath my collarbone, and I started crying out of embarrassment. My other friend hugged me as I held my flannel top close to me to cover myself. Mommy, why is the girl crying? She's realized how inappropriately she was dressed and is embarrassed, sweetie. That's what happens when you don't follow the rules. By this time, my other friend had had enough and walked up to the EM. I'm sorry, ma'am, but my friend here has serious issues with her self-image, and we're just trying to make her feel better. It's people like you bullying her that make her want to hide in her hoodie her whole life. By now I had my face buried in the flannel shirt, and I was a wheezing mess. Not my finest moment, but still. While my friends were distracted, I put the shirt on, and it's really big on me. I want to hide in it forever, but sadly I couldn't. Look, it's not my fault she has to show off her massive butt to the world. I'm just trying to keep my son's innocence intact. That comment just made me cry harder. I did my best to slouch in a way that hid my butt. Eventually, security saw the commotion and came over. What seems to be the problem? That little slut is trying to expose herself to my son. She pointed at me, who was trying to hold back a wall of tears at that point. Security guard looked over at my friends. Is this true? No way! Our friend was just enjoying herself when this lady came over and started insulting her. Not true! Under that plaid shirt of hers, she's wearing basically nothing. I bet she isn't even wearing a bra. The security guard looked at me and tilted his head. Is that true, ma'am? Are you trying to expose yourself to this young boy? I was too choked up to say anything, but my other friend stepped in. No way! All she's wearing is a normal t-shirt. It's a little short on her because she's tall. Look! She proceeded to try to slip the flannel off me, but I clung to it, still crying. In all honesty, I felt ashamed of my body at that point. Eventually, she got it off of me, and I just sit there sniffling. The security guard nodded. I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I cannot have you harassing this young lady. What? Look at her! She's wearing practically nothing. She should be charged with public indecency and scarring my son. Ma'am, You have to leave now. You're having a direct impact on her mental health, and if you don't leave, I will have to call the cops." With a grumble, the entitled mother left with the innocent kid looking sad. I really felt bad for the kid. The security guard looked at me and my friends. "I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Is there something I can do to make up for it?" The security guard was really nice, and just as I was about to shake my head no, my friends burst in. "A Coca-Cola Icy would make her feel a lot better. Trust us, she won't stop crying till she gets one." They chuckled, and I blushed, looking at them. I sighed as I kinda knew it was true, and I nodded. The security guard handed us 3 coupons for free ices, and we each got one. The rest of the day went pretty smoothly. The movie was funny, we had popcorn, and we made a joke about it once the movie was over. All in all, a rocky day, but it still ended on a good note. It is amazing how many times you see this. Somebody finding flaws in what someone else is wearing, most likely due to a insecurity of their own. Because I can't think of any other reason why you'd want to pick on a 15-year-old girl. I mean, there has got to be some deep mental stuff going on. Well, it's kind of par for the course, though. She is an entitled parent, so they're all a little mental. So I work in a relatively upscale area, but I'm one of those people from the other side of the tracks. On Sundays, I usually go to the corner grocery store in my neighborhood where everyone knows me. They have the best handmade dumplings. But on this particular day, my roommate had asked me to pick up some ground beef for a large-scale meal prep that we were doing together, so I stopped at a certain overpriced organic supermarket in the town I worked in since it was on my way. I had never shopped there before, mostly because I'd heard stories about the clientele being, well, entitled. Mostly crap about chatty Cathy's taking up entire aisles and not wanting to move, but that's been enough to keep me at my grocery store. Alas, this day I took the plunge. So I'm looking around the meat section, unable to find what I want, before I realize that at this place, I've got to get it at the butcher counter. I'll be honest, I was raised on frozen processed everything, so this was a largely alien concept to me. Whatever, this is new and fun, right? Wrong. She's coming. I walk over to the butcher area and there's one employee with someone ahead of me already being helped. No biggie, I'm not in a rush. And now, my friends, the moment you've all been waiting for. Enter Karen. Oh yes, it's her alright. The hair. I swear, hairdressers must have like a Karen mold or something that just stamps those hairstyles out. She's got this weird sleeveless pink thing on that covers more of her neck than her arms. Terrible print jeggings. The ones that almost look like denim, but have those unflattering squares printed into them. And those easy spirit sneakers with the low backs that say, "I don't want to look like I'm too lazy to put on real sneakers, but I am." She's got her kid with her, who isn't loud or screaming or anything, but just jumping in circles, like you'd stay next to her side at all time but be doing consistent triple axels. Karen marches over to the butcher's area and inserts herself in line, right in front of me. Ugh. Of course. I was certain she'd done it on purpose, but I figured I'd at least pretend like I thought she made a mistake. I mean, maybe she had, right? Essentially, I judged her based on her hair and outfit and hyperactive child. I'm basically profiling this woman, yeah? That makes me the jerk. I said, "Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry, but I'm actually ahead of you." She's facing the counter with her back to me, puts her hand up so I can see the back of it, and says, "Yeah, I'm not concerned about you." Okay, so I'm not the jerk here. Whew. Anyway, I'm not one for confrontation in mundane situations. Like, there needs to be a clear build-up to the blow-up for me to get into it with someone. Mostly because I can't be bothered, but also because I'm reserved and really don't like making a scene in public. At this point, the butcher lady had finished helping the first customer and had moved on to Karen. She missed the whole exchange since she was busy, and it happened fast. And I wasn't about to get all huffy to save myself a couple of minutes at the counter since, I'm not entitled. So Karen gets her meat and I get mine. I take a minute to browse and see if I need anything else. A box of crackers, and okay, I'm a child, and I love those little candy fruit slices. So good. Now I'm ready to check out, so I head over to the registers, which are busy as hell. This place doesn't have a self-checkout and only 2 express lanes, and one was closed. I get on the express lane behind a couple who are fumbling with their phone to get a discount code. I'm bending over to get my stuff to put on the belt when I hear from behind me, "I need to go ahead of you." I turn around and say, "Excuse me?" And there she is again, Karen, in all her CBF glory. I hadn't seen her face well the first go-round, but this time I got a good look. I don't know why people think a scowl like that makes people want to do things for them. Anyway, this time I wasn't going to be a pushover. "I have less items than you, so let me go first," she said. "No," I replied. Yes, you see, I have a kid," she answered. "Yes," I replied. "So let me go ahead of you," she demanded once more. "No," I reiterated. Then I started to put my stuff on the belt. Karen did not believe this. "Seriously?" she huffed out. I just gave some side-eye. She starts reaching toward my stuff like she's going to take it off the belt, so I quickly stick my arm out and push it all the way towards the scanner and out of her reach, which finally got the cashier's attention. He'd been busy with that couple. They were not tech-savvy. "What do you think you're doing?" Karen barked. "Oh, I'm just moving my things up and making room on the belt, since I'm next in line, right?" I said, directing that last bit to the cashier. The cashier, who had been completely oblivious to what was going on, bless him, simply said, yes. "Thanks, cashier." That's all I needed to confidently turn my back on Karen. Well, Karen is not pleased. Karen believes this is unacceptable. She says so under her breath. "Unacceptable." Then again, "Unacceptable." Then again, "Unacceptable." Each time she says it, the volume raises slightly, and the tone of her voice gets a little more annoyed. "Unacceptable!" This is when a second cashier comes on to open the other express lane. Perfect. I think we were on the 6th or 7th unacceptable when I turn to her and say, "Oh, look, they're opening another lane. If you go now, maybe you can be the first one on the line." "Effing rude," she shouts in my face. She went to the other line. Well, that just kind of makes you wonder why some people think that they're entitled to cut in front of you because they have a child. But I guess that's why we call them entitled parents. Oh my goodness. But at least she went to the other line and she got to be first. So in a way, she got her way. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It'll help out the channel so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of Reddit stories you'd like to see next. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in a little while.